Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some figures from the Mission Series 2-pack range from Hasbro, and over the course of these next 3 reviews we're going to take a look at some characters from Star Wars Rebels. Now brace yourselves for this review guys, because quite frankly these 2 figures look like they just escaped from the Star Wars holiday special. I couldn't resist picking them up because they're so goofy and so weird that they, couldn't be left on shelf, and I don't really know where to start with these guys. They are quite odd. Happy Life Day, folks, is all I'm going to say, because we're going to take a look at some Wookiees in this review, and those come in the form of Wullffwarro and the Wookiee Warrior. Now, as I said, these are very strange looking characters, but they, for some reason, warranted a purchase. I don't know why, but they are very, very cool figures, and weirdly, I'd recommend them. So we'll talk about these guys in just a little bit. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at the packaging that these guys come in. And here it is. Once again, we have the very cool Star Wars Rebels packaging design to this one. We've got the Rebels logo at the top with the Stormtrooper featured quite prominently in the background. And then on either side of the box, we do have an image of the Wookiee Warrior and Wullffwarro. Now, as you can see, the CGI models used in the Rebels series leave a little bit to be desired. They're not really as Wookiee-y as I would expect, but very, very cool nonetheless. It was nice to see the Wookiees appear briefly in Rebels. I do believe that they only appeared in the Spark of Rebellion premiere. I don't think we've seen them since, and quite frankly their appearance wasn't all that memorable. So quite why we got these 2 figures in this Mission Series 2 pack is beyond me. We could have seen much more prominent characters released before these guys, but nevertheless we get them, and I had to pick them up for some strange and weird reason. But as you can see on the back of the box, we do have some more characters available in the Mission Series range. Coming up in my next couple of reviews, we'll be taking a look at Vizago and IGRM, as well as the highly anticipated Sabine Wren and Stormtrooper 2-pack as well. As you can see in these Mission Series assortments, we do get some movie and saga characters as well, and 2 other sets available in this line are Bosk and IG-88, and the Scout Trooper and Wicket the Ewok. Now, again, I won't be picking up these 2 sets, at least not anytime soon. I've got plenty of characters, or plenty of versions of these characters that I don't really need to pick up, under-articulated versions of these. The Scout Trooper is one that I may pick up, but I'm in no real rush to do so. So there we go, that is the packaging that these 2 figures come in. Now let's take a look at them in more detail. Now we're going to start by taking a look at Wullffwarro, who is the biggest and bulkiest figure in this 2-pack. I don't know, Wullffwarro has a really weird look to him. He doesn't quite look like a Wookiee. He looks more like a gorilla or something. He doesn't have the sort of tall, what's the word, lanky nature to him. He's more stocky and bulky and very apish, which is the only real word that I can use to describe this guy. Don't get me wrong, the sculpt on this one is phenomenal. He really does look like the CGI model that they used for Wullffwarro in the animated series. I don't know, there's just something really off about them, but at the same time, it's, they're so wrong that they're right, if that makes any sense. They're that bad that they're good, along those lines. So I definitely recommend picking them up. This particular figure is, as I said, weird looking, but in terms of execution, Hasbro have done a terrific job. They've highlighted all the fur, they've sculpted it really, really well, got all the proportions accurate to the CGI model used. Overall, just a great, great figure. As you can see, he does have the very ornately decorated armband as well, and he's got a very mean and menacing look on his face, so I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Wullffwarro. And if you've seen any of my recent Instagram posts, I don't think the ATDP drivers do either. I'll not go too much into that, but if you want to check out some really cool pictures of these guys, do head over to my Instagram feed, and there's a link in the video description below for that. In terms of articulation, these are obviously no exception to the 5 points of articulation rule. Sadly, there is a little bit of movement hindered at the head, obviously because of all the sculpted fur. But in the rest of the body we have the typical swivel shoulders and swivel hips. One other major downfall to this figure is that dreaded serial number printed on the back. The sooner this stops, the better. But other than that, it's a great figure. I actually really like Wullffwarro. He's, I don't know, as I said, he's just got something about him that just looks really, really cool. And for me personally, the main reason for wanting to pick these guys up was just to add something a little bit different to the collection. They're not like anything we've ever seen before, you know, so they definitely warranted a purchase. Sadly, they don't come with any weapons, but these particular characters in the show are prisoners of the Empire, so naturally they wouldn't come with any. So there we go. So that's Wullffwarro. Now let's take a look at the Wookiee warrior. This guy is nameless. Not entirely sure who he's supposed to be or which particular Wookiee in the series he's supposed to be. He's just a generic Wookiee, but a very, very cool one. Obviously this particular figure much closely represents what we come to expect from a Wookiee. He's much taller, much more slender and slim. Quite the opposite of Wullffwarro. But a very cool figure nonetheless. As you can see, he's got more of a calm and collected look on his face as opposed to the menacing battle-ready look that Wullffwarro has. He once again features a rather ornately decorated armband. Whether or not that's supposed to be an armband or some sort of handcuff or, you know, prisoner lock or something like that, not entirely sure, but it's there nonetheless. The rest of the figure is sculpted really, really nicely. Once again, you've got all the highlights in the fur. The fur itself is sculpted really well, and just a very cool figure overall, even down to the little itty bitty toes on the end of his feet. So a great, great figure all round. Once again, you know, they may not be at the top of everybody's wants list. They are a bit of a weird choice for the Mission Series line. Again, I'm not 100% sure why these figures were chosen over more prominent characters that we've seen in Star Wars Rebels. I know, for me personally, I would have much rather seen, you know, the Imperial Minister that pops up every now and again, or some of the astromech droids. I don't know, just something a little bit more prominent in the show. You know, these guys really were blink and you'll miss them characters. If you don't remember the Spark of Rebellion premiere all that well, then, you know, you won't remember seeing these guys at all. So yeah, just a weird choice for an action figure, but nevertheless, they offer something a little bit different, and they're certainly unlike any Wookiees we've ever seen from Hasbro before. So for that reason alone, they warrant a purchase, and I'm really happy that I picked these guys up. If you want to add these guys to your collection, as always, you can do so via the link in the video description, which will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk, where you can purchase these guys for yourself. So that's going to do it for this review on the Wookiee Warrior and Wullffwarro from the Star Wars Rebels Mission Series 2-pack line. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at these guys, and I'll be back with some more Star Wars Rebels Mission Series reviews for you very soon. As I said, I've got Vizago and Sabine and many more to give you a look at, so stay tuned. Until next time, guys, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.